How could you take care of yourself holistically when you have a cold or flu? You're about to find out.
Okay, hello there. This is Alexandra Epple and...
Hey, I'm Annie Barrett. Thanks for tuning in. We're both yoga health coaches.
And we're going to talk about how to take care of flus and colds, and very timely, right? Because there's this big flu epidemic going around. So what's your big go-to, Annie? What's your number one favorite thing to do when you feel like a cold's coming on?
Yeah, the first thing I do is brew a big pot of tea with fresh ginger, turmeric, either fresh turmeric or turmeric powder. I'll add a little squeeze of lemon to it, and either some raw honey or maple syrup's also nice, a little bit of cayenne, and maybe a little bit of black pepper. And boy, it just allows the whole body to heat up, and it starts reducing inflammation, starts getting your Agni turned on, so you can just move it out. You'll feel it all the way out to your senses because it will increase your circulation.
Yeah, and it makes you sweat, and whenever through the sweat we get rid of toxins. So that's really cool. That's also one of my go-tos. Whenever I feel a cold coming on, right when I feel it, it's like, oh, there's something coming. I make myself this big pot, like you're saying. Super helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, and what do you do when you're a little bit stuffed up? When it happens, but it starts to take root in your cells?
My favorite thing to do is a face steam. So I make myself a big pot of hot water, and I add eucalyptus leaves to it, or chamomile leaves, or any kind of other, what we call diaphoretic or expectorant. So it means like whatever opens up your lungs and whatever makes you sweat. And I put that in the water. So eucalyptus is a great go-to, and then put a towel over it and just breathe that in. And it has two impacts. First of all, it opens up your sinuses and gets rid of some of that mucus that's in there. And also it coats your throat. So if you have a dry throat, it feels really soothing. So that
that sounds so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then once you start to move that, some people really like to do the neti pot with the saline rinse with either the bulb that you squeeze or the one that you pour it through. And that can really help people, especially if it's kind of a chronic thing. It's something you can do daily during the cold season to help that all your nasal passages stay really clear.
Yeah. Totally helpful.
Yeah. And then if they're a little bit raw, oiling the sinuses. Just plain oil or using Nassia oil that has some medicated herbs, I think that can be really nice as well.
Super good. Yeah, sesame oil is the go-to, right? And then we can buy what you call Nassia oil and camphor. I really like it when there's camphor in it and you're really stuffed up and you put that in there. The camphor has the ability to expand it and make it free so you can breathe better. I love that too.
Yeah, that's really nice.
You know what
I do? Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what I always get is a dry throat. That's one of my things. I don't get so mucusy, but I get more dry when I get a cold.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Like all my throat is so dry and I have to cough, but nothing's coming out. So it's super unsatisfying. So what I do to soothe that is I make myself some marshmallow tea or licorice tea. And it gets kind of mucilaginous when you simmer it for like 5 or 10 minutes. And then it coats it and it takes that annoying cough away.
Yeah, that's so good. I also keep on hand slippery elm tablets. They sell those at the health food store. And it's just like a lozenge that when you suck on it, especially if you're going to be doing some speaking or teaching or out and about, you can have those and just suck on them and they just soothe and coat the throat so that you just don't feel like you're coughing all day. That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Alex, I'm curious, when you get sick, what's the first thing besides your go-to remedies? What do you do in terms of nourishment and rest? I'm curious about that.
Oh, I pretty much eat very simple as possible. Yeah. Not to overload my stomach or my digestion. Khichdi, of course, is one of the go-tos. Personally, I'm not such a fan of khichdi these days anymore. I think I overate it or something. But just simple, something really simple, like just maybe like some rice and some steamed vegetables. Or I eat nothing, sometimes I'm just also not really hungry. But the point being not to eat any complicated food combinations and not anything complicated like meat or something that's really hard to digest. Make it really simple on yourself. The sicker you are, the simpler food choices should be.
And that's where I think most soups are great. Even that's, the hold for many people's traditions, the chicken soup, chicken broth with some added additions like maybe some ginger and garlic in it can help. Or I'll sometimes do miso soup when I'm not feeling like much of anything else. Miso soup can be nourishing, but it's really simple and easy to digest. Or just a nice big pot of vegetable soup.
Totally. I love
it's soup. It's soup. When anyone gets sick in the house, it's like we make a pot of soup.
Yep, totally. And I love making bone broth, and I find that to be really nourishing and satisfying, but it's not, like you say, over taxing the digestive system.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so, and what do you do about sleep and rest, Annie? I think that's a really big.
Yeah. As soon as I feel it coming on, it's like, what can I take? What can I subtract from my calendar so that I can prioritize rest? And so we're on the screen right now, but I'd make sure that I get off the screen as early as possible in the evening, wind down, maybe have a nice bath, or sometimes I'll just soak my feet in warm water. And I don't know, there's that old hydrotherapy technique, maybe you know about this, where you soak your feet in hot water and then you put on wet cotton socks, and you put wool socks on top of those. And then you pop yourself in bed with blankets and a nice cup of like chamomile tea or something really soothing. And you go to bed, and that actually helps while you're sleeping to help your circulation and move whatever is going on, move it out of your system. I've had great success with that, and it helps you sleep really well when you give a little attention to your feet right before bed.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know that about the wet socks. That sounds cool. Gotta try that next
time.
Yeah. There was something really cool that I heard an MD say before, so a medical doctor. He said, well, getting sick once or twice a year is actually pretty cool because it gives your immune system the opportunity to show that it's still working. So I don't know, I just think that's really cool too. Like, it's not like we're not trying to get sick, but actually getting sick once or twice a year isn't like the end all and the bad all. We just need to take care of ourselves.
And it's permission. It's permission to slow down. It often happens when we've been pushing ourselves a little too fast, a little too long. And so it's a cue that we need to slow down and attend to ourselves.
Totally.
Yeah.
Cool, Annie. I think that's a lot to get started, don't you think?
I think so too. Yep. I hope it's helpful.
All right. Bye, you guys.
Bye-bye.
And one key ingredient is the good old hot water bottle, your new best friend.